Oh, that movie was great. Why do I get so emotional every single time I watch it? Stop being a pansy. What's up, guys? It is Rob, and I am back with a brand new video. I just got done watching one of my favorite films of all time, and every time I watch it, I get emotional. I start to tear up, maybe even cry sometimes, and yes, I do that. You know, those of you wondering, do I ever cry during a movie? Yes, I do. It depends on, the movie itself, of course, and if it really pulls me in and I get invested in the story and the characters, and then something tragic happens, or even something that's supposed to be really happy. It just, it makes my emotions run, and I actually like when that happens. Because in my opinion, that is good filmmaking, good storytelling. So I thought to myself, I'm going to pick out a handful of films where whenever I watch them, I tear up or even cry or just feel sad. Maybe I don't cry, but I feel sad about what's going on. I thought that would be kind of fun, and it kind of maybe a touchy subject for a lot of people, because some people will not admit that they cry, and some of these movies, you may not, I don't know, you just may not feel the same way. But I'm just going to be honest with you and show you guys here a list of movies that I picked. The first one is, of course, Old Yeller. Those of you who've seen this movie understand where I'm coming from here. I do like dogs. I've had a dog pretty much my whole life. The first one I had passed away, and of course you've seen my other dog in my videos, Daisy. She's a Shih Tzu, and I don't like to see anything bad happen to animals, so to say. But especially in this movie, when Travis has to shoot Old Yeller because Old Yeller has that disease where he is kind of rabid and kind of like a rabies thing. So he has to put him down with his rifle, and they don't show it, but they show like leading up to it, and they show the aftermath. That was very hard, because I saw this at a young age, and you get so invested in the Old Yeller dog, in the character itself. There's kind of like a backstory with the dog, and you start to like him, and you don't want to see nothing bad happen. It's just one of those things that I think makes this movie touching and emotional, and also great. It's a classic, and yeah, it's one of the most memorable movies ever made, really. So that's my first pick there, is Old Yeller, and I know a lot of you can probably relate, after watching this. The next one is Transformers the movie, the animated movie now. This is not the Michael Bay one, of course. This is the movie where pretty much all the original Autobots die, and then they kill off Optimus Prime. Everyone's favorite Transformer, the leader, dies. And so they basically announced that someone new is taking over. Ultra Magnus is basically in the place of Optimus, and then Hot Rod, of course, turns into Rodimus Prime with the Matrix. It's just to introduce new characters, which I can understand, but you know how many children and young adults were torn up by that? I mean, I still get sad watching it. Like, I don't cry, but I get sad. It's just really, really sad. You don't want to see Optimus Prime die. I mean, it had no effect on me when I watched it in Revenge of the Fallen, because Michael Bay did that same thing. But here, with the music playing, it's so depressing. He's sitting there on the table, and then he's just like, when he just dies, the music is like, I don't know, it's almost creepy at times. But this is a great movie. I would put this movie above any of the Michael Bay movies. So, Transformers the movie, Optimus Prime's death, definitely effective, for sure. Another one is E.T. Now, I tear up a couple times here. Mostly the ending, when E.T. has to leave. That's like, it's one of those things you just don't want to see E.T., leave, especially Elliot. The part that really gets me now is when E.T. is about to die. Like, Elliot and him are in the bathroom, and E.T.'s all white, and he's just like, that whole part is so hard to watch, and I start to tear up a little bit. Again, you get invested with E.T. You get to learn a little bit about him and how he acts and stuff like that, and you actually get to care about his character. So, again, like, it's just, it's emotional. It really is. Like, yeah, at the end when his parents come back and, the ship comes back and he gets on the ship to leave, it's a hard scene to watch. It really is. But like I said, both of those scenes really are sad. They're sad. And, yeah, but again, great movie. I mean, the film that I just got done watching, I can watch this movie over and over again. I think this movie is a masterpiece. I really do. And I know Edward Zwick, who directed this, he did such a great job. And I don't know who did the story here. Oh, John Logan did the story. Great job, John. I mean, this amazing story. And with the music, Hans Zimmer is definitely my top 5 favorite composers. And it is The Last Samurai. I get emotional every single time I see this. With the love story, the battles, the characters, you start to care about them. It is so emotional, and I tear up at the end every single time. The story of The Last Samurai. Tom Cruise is with the U.S. Army, and with the military, but then he switches sides. Instead of going against the enemy, he joins the enemy, which are the samurai, but he finds out they're not the enemy. They're actually disciplined people who just want to defend their own kind, and he falls in love with this Japanese woman who has a family, and he fights along the samurai against the U.S. who are training the Japanese soldiers. So he fights against the Japanese soldiers basically with the U.S. backing them, and he's using nothing but a sword. He's basically trained to be a samurai. This movie, every aspect is so good. It is so good. Every time I watch this, I tear up. I just start to cry almost. It's crazy. If you haven't seen it, this is my #1 recommendation to you. Of course, I cried like a baby in the theater, and I still do when I watch this. Avengers Endgame, when they kill off Iron Man, I'm sorry, I cry like a freaking... honestly, I lose it. I mean, we're talking about a main character that started the MCU. The first Iron Man was the start of the MCU, the very first character that got introduced. And he ends up dying. It's like his arc went full circle. Black Widow's death was sad, because I did like her character. But not as sad as Iron Man. Iron Man, wow. Completely just, I was expecting Captain America to die. Either way, if it was Captain or Iron Man, I just would have lost it anyway. It wouldn't matter. But it was such a powerful film, really. Here's another one that I cry like all throughout the movie, and it is The Passion of the Christ. Very well done movie by Mel Gibson. Jim Caviezel as Jesus did a fantastic portrayal. This movie is so depressing, but it also has a spirit to it. You know, it lifts you up after whipping you down. It lifts your spirit because of what goes on here. The dialect, everything about this film, the music, the cinematography, just the situations are so emotional, but they're so good. Yeah, such a powerful film in itself, really. Yeah. Okay, so this one still makes me sad. I guess I'll just hold this up. Rocky Balboa, which is the 6th film. Rocky Balboa is so sad. One of Stallone's best performances since the first movie, because basically Rocky Balboa, all that is going back to the first film when he first met Adrian, and going back to the old spots, the ice rink, his old apartment, places like that. It's a very depressing film too, but again, it lifts your spirits because Rocky's Rocky, and he always will be. And he just shows that age doesn't matter. You can still do anything. Even with Adrian gone, that's what he's upset about the most, is having Adrian out. It was kind of hard to watch the movie anyway without Talia Shire in it, because she is a main character. And taking her away was like missing a piece of the puzzle. It really was. That's why I don't like what they did in Creed when they killed off Paulie. But Rocky Balboa, definitely a sad film. I did cry in the theater quite a few times. Here's one I tear up at all the time, The Lion King, Mufasa's death. That one was really hard to watch. You know, Simba basically watching his dad die. You know, he gets trampled on and by the stampede, and then, yeah, he's dead. And then he has to find out that it was actually Scar who pushed him off the ledge, or basically let go. Kind of flung him off the ledge, and he died. I mean, in a Disney movie like this, it's really hard. It really is. And I do get teary-eyed every single time. But, again, another powerful film. Really. I mean, honestly. Here's one that I get teary-eyed a lot every time I watch, and it is Mask. I'm getting teared up now just thinking about it. Cher, at the end of the movie, you find out, you know, Rocky Dennis ends up dying from his severe headaches that he has, played by Eric Stoltz, which was fantastic, by the way. Sam Elliott. Cher puts on a fantastic performance. The end of this movie is so sad. She just basically tears up the house when he is dead in his bed. And she's at the cemetery, and then he talks about, he starts to recite his poem that he wrote his mom, that he got an A on. And it's so powerful. All these movies are powerful, and that's what kind of message it sends, really. Another one that kind of makes me teary-eyed is Casper. The ending where Bill Pullman's wife comes, because that's what he's searching for. He's searching for his dead wife as a ghost. She appears to him, and the music, I don't know who did the music in this movie. James Horner did the music, another great composer. But she comes down, and she with the music playing and the acting, it's so emotional. Like, I start to tear up, and the fact that Casper, you know, only gets a little time to be human again, and then gets it taken away from him. it's just so sad. They did a good job pulling you in, pulling on your emotional strings in this film. They really did. And there's a lot of great funny stuff in it, but that ending, super sad. Another one that kind of made me sad here was The Outsiders. Ralph Macchio's character, Johnny, ends up dying because he tries to save some kids in a burning church. Something falls on his back and he basically breaks his back. So he's in the hospital with severe burns and he can't walk. He basically busted his back up and he ends up dying. Such a powerful film anyway. I mean, because you got a great cast in this, and Ralph Macchio was the heart, I want to say, of the movie. Yeah, it's crazy, like what they have to go through in that movie. It's definitely sad, that's for sure. Another one is Land Before Time, another animated film with some sad moments in it, with Littlefoot's parents. That's a very sad moment. I was very, very young when I saw this for the first time, and it still gets me. It's a fantastic film. At least the first one. The first Land Before Time is very, very good. Avengers Infinity War, there's the Spider-Man scene that everyone talks about. When Thanos snaps his fingers, Spider-Man, he's like, I don't want to go. That was a very hard scene to watch, and I started to cry. It doesn't last very long. The scene doesn't really last that long, but it's sad when everyone starts to turn into dust, pretty much. So that was a very hard one. Not as hard as Endgame, but another one is What Dreams May Come. I think this is a sad movie all around. What's odd is Robin Williams is no longer with us, and I guess he has a chance to find out what heaven is like, But that's in this, movie, his whole family pretty much dies, and he dies, and he's in heaven, and he has to figure out what to do in heaven, like where to go, and then he finds out his wife committed suicide and she went to hell, and so he has to go from heaven to hell to save her. Emotional, very, very emotional with the characters. God, it just makes me sad. It really does. And it also brings joy, too. I want to say that. Another one is Lord of the Rings Return of the King. This one has one of the saddest endings I've ever seen. When Frodo goes off in the boat, sailing off into the white light. Everyone crying, like the hobbits are crying, and I'm just, how can you not cry? I love the Lord of the Rings movies. I don't think they're masterpieces, but I think they're very well done. But that's a very, very sad ending for sure. Another one that was sad was Peter Jackson's King Kong. They really did this very well on you caring about King Kong when he's getting shot. I think it's different than all the versions that have come out with King Kong. This one is, I think, the saddest, because you can see all the emotions on his face when he's getting shot and then when he falls. And Naomi Watts, she is very good at crying. Like, she is very good at acting sad. She's a great actress, and you really believe it. She did a great job here, but all in all, it's very sad when you see what's happening to him. A couple more. Our Texas Death and Neverending Story, The Horse. I was very young when I saw this movie, and when the horse dies, I was very, very sad. I started to cry. It doesn't really affect me that much now, but when I was younger, yeah. Another one is Titanic. It is a sad movie. I wouldn't say I cried or even teared up, but it is sad. It's very sad during the end, because you know what's going to happen. The Titanic's going to sink. So, yeah. And another one here is Fireproof. I definitely recommend this for you guys to watch. This one is full of emotions. It's about relationships, how to fix them, what goes wrong and stuff like that. It's all over the place, but it's very, very, very good. So that is my list. If you want to do a response, let me hear it.